Okay, this is going to be a quick one. Let's go over the homework from day one, recursive formulas for sequences, explicit formulas for sequences, and sigma notation. So I already prepared the skeletons for the homework problems that I'm going to go over with you, and I'm just going to fill them in. So the first problems say find the first three terms. So the first three terms are a sub 1, a sub 2, and a sub 3. So you plug in 1, you plug in 2, and you plug in 3. So order of operations here, parentheses first, multiplication first. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, and then square that and you get 1. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 squared is 9. And last but not least, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5, and 5 squared is 25. There are your first three terms. For number 2, you plug in 1 for the first term, 2 for the second term, 3 for the third term, and just solve. 1 squared is 1, 1 plus 5 is 6. 2 squared is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 squared is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14. Done with number 1 and 2. Numbers 1 and 2. Moving right along. Let's get to numbers 3 and 4. These are recursive formulas. What do recursive formulas require? They require the previous term. For the previous terms, find the next term. And that's why they always give you the first term as a gift. So to find a sub 2, I need to take the previous term and add 8 to it. Remember, a sub n minus 1 is the previous term. So what's previous to a sub 2? Sub 1. What's a sub 1? 10. And so 10 plus 8 is 18. Then, to find a sub 3, you have to take the previous term, which is the 18. We just found it. And add 8 to it. 18 plus 8 is 26. Then to find a sub 4, I take the previous term, which is the 26. And I add 8 to it. And 26 plus 8 is 34. That's number 3. Okay, number 4, recursive formula. They give you the first term as a gift. Then the recursive formula itself is 5 times the previous term, minus 10. So find a sub 2, I take 5 times the previous term, which is the 2. All right, and 5 times 2 is 10, 10 minus 10 is 0. Then I take the previous term to a sub 3, which is the 0 we just found. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 10 is negative 10. To find a sub 4, I take the previous term to a sub 4, which is the negative 10. 5 times negative 10 is negative 50. And negative 50 minus 10 more is negative 60. Done with numbers 3 and 4. That is how recursive formulas work. Okay, are they necessarily efficient? Not necessarily, because you have to find every previous term to find the next. That's how recursive formulas build on themselves. Numbers 5 and 6 just says find the nth term of the sequence. The nth term depends on what n is. In this case, n is 5. So I'm trying to find a sub 5, the 5th term. How do you find the 5th term? You just plug in 5 into the formula. So it'd be 4 to the 5 minus 1 power. So that's 4 to the 4th power. And 4 to the 4th power, boy, oh boy, that seems like a tough one right there. But let's just break it down. That's 4 squared times another 4 squared. So that's 16 times 16, and that's 256. It says n is 10, so let's find a sub 10. So plug in 10. 10 times 6 is 60. 60 plus 8 is 68. And Bob's your uncle. You're done with numbers 5 and 6. Great, those are explicit formulas. You can just directly plug in the number you're looking for. All right, same thing with 7 and 8. You're just finding those terms. Let's go to sigma notation here. So I happen to have the skeletons already set up. Why did I write it so many times? Because we're beginning at 2 and we're ending at 6. So start by plugging in 2. Then integer by integer, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 6. You begin with the low number and you finish by plugging in the high number. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. And 4 times 6 is 24. Plus 2 is 26. Thing about this, that's not the answer to this question. The summation notation symbol, sigma, tells you to add everything up. Don't do all this work and then not add it all up. If you add up all of these numbers, they indeed add up to 90. That's the final answer to this question right here, 90. All right, so for number 10, we're finding the sum. Scroll down here, and we're beginning at -2, and we're ending at +2. So start by plugging in -2, -1, then 0, then +1, and then +2. -2 cubed. -2 times -2 times -2 is -8, plus 3, which is -5. -1 cubed is -1. -1 plus 3 is 2. 0 cubed is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. Should be an equal sign, sorry. That looks like a not equal sign now, so let me erase so you don't get confused. Now it's an equal sign. Right, 1 cubed is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 2 cubed is +8. And 8 plus 3 is 11. And if I add all these up, remember you're taking the sum of all those, your answer is 15. You add up all of these numbers, and you get 15. And that's the homework, folks. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you're watching these videos, especially if you're having some trouble before you ask questions. Okay, everybody.